Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Jaina. I am so sorry you're calling back in to a show that was already being recorded. So please forgive us for the technical difficulty. However, we were dealing with Romans chapter 9, explaining the importance of Romans chapter 9. And I think that we had already talked about what pertains to Israel. Verse chapter 4, it says, the Israelites who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yah, and the promises. Watch. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, Yah blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Yah has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. And we talked about that. We talked about, some of them are Edomites, some of them are Canaanites. All the ites that were mixed in, the people that we were supposed to eliminate, is still alive today. And because they are our skin color, they mingle among us. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So, when you have the Ishmaelites coming up saying, well, we're the chosen seed too, we Abraham's kids. No, it has to go through Isaac. Watch what it says. Watch what it says. That is, they which are of the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yah, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. And that's the separation. And I just heard an evangelical group say, oh, there's no such thing. We're the Israelites. There's no there's no ethnic classification or difference in ethnicity. There's no special colored people that's going to make it. We are the Israelites. Well, this separates everything right here. And they really believe that. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, and this is the best thing that sister could have brought out, was that Rebekah had twins, and she was conceived by one man, even our father Isaac. Watch. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yah according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Watch what he does. It is unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. How can the Most High hate a child that's not born? Somebody tell me that.
Because he already knew before he was born what he was going to do, I guess.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because he already knew before he was born what he was going to do. And they had the same father. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness in Yah? Yah forbid. For he said unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yah that showeth mercy. That sounds like predestination to me.
It is.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's about the Most High giving you power to do the things that you need to do. You can't will it enough. You can't run toward it enough. But it's Yah that shows mercy to give you the opportunity to be able to do it. It says, for the scripture says, Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. That's crucial right there. He told Pharaoh, This is the very reason why you was born in the first place.
That's predestined.
That's predestination, ain't it?
Oh. It is. It's clear as day.
That is predestination. Let me read that again. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So it wasn't about your mama meeting your daddy. It wasn't by chance. They didn't just run up on each other on the brook for no reason. It was all predestined, organized, and planned that they were going to be at the same place at the same time. They was going to meet each other, fall in love, and boom, here you come. Watch. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Nah, but old man, who art thou that thou repliest against Yah? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? That's good and evil, ain't it? If you're a vessel of good, then you on the good side. If you're a vessel of evil, then you on the dishonor side. What if Yah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long-suffering a vessel of wrath fitted to destruction, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessel of mercy, which he hath afore prepared unto glory? Even us, whom he called not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. As he said also in Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which is not my beloved. Come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living Elohim. So there is a group of people that have been set apart to be the villain. Any questions? Nobody have any questions? Okay, we're not going to keep this one. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Now, we talked about last week where dominion was gained in the garden. Some kind of way they gave it up in the garden, but Lucifer has it to this day. He has dominion over this earth. And we also established last week that something he did in the kingdom of Yah allowed him to transfer from good to evil.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is it fair to say, or can we use the scripture between Romans 9 from 19 through 23? I hear people say, well, you know what? That means that you don't have free choice, but you do have free choice because the Most High knew the choice you was going to make. So, is that fair to say that? When someone said, "Well, let me have free choice," you didn't have free choice, but He knew who you was going to choose, even before you made that choice.
Look, let me ask you a question. Have you ever done something that you knew it was wrong, and then you messed up, you slipped up? And you said, I am never going to do that. And have you ever said out of your mouth, I am never going to do that again, and you didn't do it no more?
Well, I said that in my mouth, but I ain't not done it again. Maybe, there are times when I did not. There's also times when I said I wasn't going to do it, and I ended up doing it the second time.
Some things you just ain't going to do no more. You're like, I ain't doing that no more.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, of course, yes.
And
When it comes down to the Word of God, yes.
And usually we get in trouble about it, and we be like, no, I ain't going to do that no more. And nobody can talk you into doing it. That's how they were. Right. That's how they could have been. That's what Yah wants. He wants to be able to send opposition your way like he did with Job and say, go test him. He ain't going to curse me.
But he already knew he wasn't going to curse him. Right? Yes.
Say what?
I said, but God knew that Job wasn't going to curse him. He already knew that he wasn't going to curse him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he knew what he was going to use him for.
Right. I guess my thing is with this is my understanding. Well, my understanding from predestined, before time, beforehand. So before it was ever committed, he already knew it was going to be committed.
Absolutely.
Or whatever choice he's going to make, he already knew I was going to make that choice. But other than that, he can't be all knowing and seeing because he knows the beginning from the end. That means that everything about me, he already knows what I'm going to do.
That's true.
All the choices I was going to make, he knew. I mean, he knows it. Okay.
True. That is true. Now watch this. The created God confirmed domination. Matthew chapter 4. Now we're going to confirm this dominion. It says, when Yahushua was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards in a hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, now listen what he said, if thou be the Son of Yah, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yah. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of Yah, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee. Watch what he says. And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against the stone. He said, you ain't even going to be able to hurt yourself. They're going to come in flying so fast. Watch. Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy Elohim. And again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So he's showing him all the kingdoms of the world. Watch. And he said unto him, all these things will I give to thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Now how was he able to show him all the kingdoms of the whole world? And told him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. That's dominion.
Mm-hmm.
Then saith the Most High unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve. It says, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Any questions? Now listen at Luke's account of it. Luke chapter 4. And Yahushua, being full of the Holy Ghost, returned from Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. And being 40 days tempted of the devil, and in those days he did eat nothing. And when they were ended, he afterwards hungered. And the devil said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, Son of Yah, command these stones that it be made bread. And Yahushua answered him, saying, It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of Yah. And the devil, taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, Listen to this, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it. What does that sound like to you?
Dominion again.
That's dominion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the kingdoms and the power to go with it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Most High thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve. And he brought him to Jerusalem, and set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, If thou be the Son of Yah, cast thyself down from hence. For he said, For it is written, He shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee. And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against the stone. So here's the dominion. And my question is, and then Yahushua answered, said unto him, It is said, Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy Elohim. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. So how did dominion transfer?
Was it after Adam and Eve maybe committed that first sin?
Say that again?
Because of Adam and Eve, who was the first to commit that first sin.
And what was that first sin?
Where they were taken from the forbidden tree, which was a disobedience to God.
They ate from the tree. They did. They knew the difference between good and evil. But what was the evil part?
A covenant.
I said the evil part was, they disobeyed. For me, it would be disobedient.
Somebody said a covenant. So what kind of covenant was made, sis?
When Eve made a covenant with Satan when she agreed with him in the garden, and that took her away from the Most High because she did what he told her.
Mm-hmm. So when she agreed with the covenant with him, what happened? So when his son was born, right? Because everybody dancing around it, they don't want to say it, but when his son was born, he received the birthright. That's the only way he could have got it.
Now, who received the birthright? I'm sorry.
Satan's first son. First son born by Satan. Cain.
Okay, Cain. Okay.
This is how he got it. He said, all this power is mine to give. He said, all this power is mine to give. So that's how he took dominion. That's what happened. That's how he took dominion. He took it from there. Eve is the mother of all living. We established that last week, that child had to be born through him. He's not mentioned in Genesis chapter 5 nowhere.
Well, the battle is for the mind. So she doubted Yah. She doubted what she was told by Yah, and she believed the lie of Satan.
Yes, she did.
And that's what caused all this problem is wherever the body goes, the mind goes, the body always follows. It was a spiritual attack first and then physical.
Mm-hmm. This is very true. Very, very true. And these are the things that we have to understand. Let's do the death confirmation. Here we go. I'm going somewhere with this. John chapter 12, verse 23. And Yehudah answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. What? Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my service be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? He said, Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this. He didn't want to do it. He said, my soul is troubled. I don't want to do this. And if you can, save me from this. Watch. Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. The people, therefore, that stood by and heard it, said it thundered. Others said angels spake to him. Yehudah answered and said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. This he said, signifying what death he should die. The people answered him, we have heard out of the law that Christ abideth forever, and how saith thou the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man? Then Yehudah said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of the light. That these things spake Yehudah and departed, and did hide himself from them. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who has believed our report? And to whom have the arm of the Most High been revealed? Now let me ask you this question. If he's all-knowing and he's Yah, and he's Yisrael in the flesh, and he's walking among us, why did he have to go hide? Anybody? Why was it necessary for him to hide?
Who's that, Adam? I guess I'm asking who you're talking about. I missed it.
Because they were going to try to kill him. And if they would have tried to kill him, the angels would have been right there slaughtering the whole group.
Say that again?
It wasn't his time to die.
It wasn't yet. It's the time hadn't come yet. That is correct. That is correct.
Go
ahead.
What I'm saying is that if they would have physically handled him to try to kill him, and especially when it wasn't his time to die, the angels would have went on ahead and would have came on down and would have slaughtered everyone that is in that area. It just would have been like nothing. Everybody there would have been wiped out. So that kept them safe by him being able to hide from people.
Yep, and to run from them. And he didn't want to interfere with the story because the story had to go on. He didn't want to interfere with the story because really he could have done something to stop them from touching him completely. He could have took that whole atmosphere and set a moment of just everybody would have just stopped. But he made them feel like they were in control. That's why it says, therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he that blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also, many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of Yah. Which brings me to the final part of this lesson. This is the part that I told you when I was sitting in my car that the Most High showed me that kind of blew me back. And I was like, oh my goodness. You remember what Lucifer said in the book of Ezekiel when he said, I'm going to be like Yah. I'm going to set my seat up in the stars. I'm going to be the Most High and all the things. And that had to come from somewhere. When he made that declaration about what he was going to do, he made that coming from somewhere after he had sinned in the kingdom. Because he had to have sinned in order to have that idea that he was going to supersede the Creator. Watch. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in the craftiness, nor handling the word of Yah deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yah. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, to whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of Yah, should shine unto them. Now, how in the world is Lucifer the God of this world? We already said it. He got it through his son, right? He's the God of this world. Not only is he the God of this world, but he's also known as the Prince of the Air. Ephesians chapter 2. And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sin, where in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh, and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But Yah, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on just a second. I think I missed the part. Hold on. Well, we're going to leave it there. Okay, so So we know that not only is he the prince of the power of air, but he is the God of this world. So guess what the Most High did? Oh, I'm missing something here. Hold on. Let me go to Colossians chapter 1. Colossians 1 and 9. It says, for this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you and desire that ye may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that ye may walk worthy of the Most High unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of Yah, strengthened with all might according to his glorious power unto all patience and long-suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who has delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. So like we said earlier, good was created by the Most High, evil was created by the Most High. We have vessels of honor that are a part of the good, and we have vessels of dishonor that are part of the evil. Two different opposing sides. And the Most High set it all up before the foundation of the world because we had to play this game that we're playing right now. Any questions?
Yes. So Yahushua came here to redeem dominion back to the Most High and take it back from Satan. That's why he said all power was given back to him.
Well, now let me ask you a question. And that's a good question. Does Lucifer still have dominion over the earth?
Yes, but he doesn't have all power. He has dominion, yes.
He still has dominion, doesn't he? But he doesn't have all power.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
ma'am. He still has dominion, but he doesn't have all power. So what he did, so Yahushua came and did what? He leveled the playing field, didn't he? And even though we have to live in an earth where Lucifer is in control of all the systems that we live in, Yahushua still has all power. And not only does he have all power, but he has a people in the earth to represent that power. And we are the opposing side of the evil because we're left on the earth to represent the good. That's why when we do what we do, we have to represent the Most High at all times. Because something has to offset the evil. Because we live in a society where there's good and there's evil. Vessels of honor and vessels of dishonor. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anybody else? That's what we can't do. When we see these things that are going on in front of us, we have to identify them, know, because it's really strategic. We have to identify them, know what's going on, and understand whose side everybody's on. Because it's blatantly apparent. There's no way, like we said earlier, there's no way that you could wait a whole hour and hear kids getting shot down and there's something wrong with that picture. No way. You can't even rationalize that. Hold on. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have preeminence. And preeminence is power. So Lucifer gained it in the garden. Well, now let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Let's go back before the garden. Before Adam and Eve, the garden exists. He was in the garden in the foundation in the beginning. He walked among the stars. He had all of the jewels that we talk about today in his body. And then one day he disobeyed God. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he could have did. Or even though he might have just been created to do that. He could have created him to think evil. And that's when the game started. And that's the biggest thing we got to learn, is to know what side you're on. And once the game started, guess what the Most High did? He wrote the story to the point where Adam and Eve are created. He creates Adam and he puts him in the garden. Eve was pulled from man. They're in the garden doing. He gave them one commandment: don't touch that one. You can eat from all the other ones, but that one right there, don't touch. Because he knew that once they did, they had already chose their opposing side. And that's exactly what they did. And they did what he thought they were going to do. And it gave him power. It gave him dominion. Lucifer got dominion at that point.
There's even mentioned in Job, too, how he walked to and fro. When he went to Psalms, before God.
Absolutely.
But he knew he had dominion. He knew he had dominion. He said, I'm walking to and fro. I'm walking up and down.
Seeking whom I may devour. Didn't he say that? It says,
was that a question? I'm sorry.
He said, for it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? All of this came from the Most High. All of this was him. This was him. And the biggest thing that I got from it, when I was in the car, I was like, oh, my goodness. Guess what? Lucifer said he wanted to be God. Guess what y'all did? He made him God. Oh, that's what you want to play? That's what you want to be? Okay, watch this. I'm going to let you be God. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he turn him into the God of this world?
He did.
The prince of the power of the air? The prince of darkness? He said, oh, you want to be the boss? I'm going to let you be the boss. And then he sent his son to shut the whole program down. Oh, so you want to play that part? I'm going to let you play that part. I'm going to let you be the God of this world.
You see what the prince means? God is over dominion. Prince.
I'm going to let you have dominion, but you won't have all power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like you said, he's also the prince of darkness, right?
Yeah.
The prince, not the creator of darkness.
Oh, no.
What the?
Oh, no. So things going on right now. We understand it. This is how the story was written. This is how the story plays out. So when you see evil and you see people shooting up grocery stores and you see people, these people have already been allotted to what side they own. They're not going to change.
Mm-mm. We all have a part in play.
Can you say that one more time, sis?
I said we all have a part in this play.
We all got a part in this play. And you're going to play your part.
Yep.
And either you're a vessel of honor or you're a vessel of dishonor. There's nothing else in the middle.
Mm-mm.
Either you're a part of good or you're a part of evil. There's nothing else in the middle.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing else you can contribute. Either you're going to do right or you're going to do wrong. There's nothing else you can do. And with each side, there's a leader involved in this thing that's controlling each side. You better believe. And guess what? Yehudah is controlling the good and Lucifer controlling the evil.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle is on.
So actually, Satan is the god of evil.
Yeah, I'm so glad you got it. I'm so glad you got it. You better believe it. He's the God with the little g.
Yes, yes, of course.
He's the God of evil. But that's what he wanted to be.
So the big God,
Ain't that what he said he wanted to be?
Uh-huh.
He said that, didn't he? He said, I want to be like y'all. Didn't he say that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said that.
He made his choice.
And the Most High gave him what he asked for. Didn't he? He said, I want to be like y'all. Oh, yes, he did.
Along with the...
Go ahead, sis. Say what you got to say.
Oh, no, I was going to say, along with the consequences, too. You've got to remember that one, too.
And along with the consequences that go with it. You better believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You better believe it. That's why they couldn't stop him. Oh, watch. Now we got to go back up here. Now we got to go up here where it says, 1 Corinthians chapter 2. It says, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of Yah. Watch what he said. He said, for I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahushua, Yahamashiach, and him crucified. For I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. He said, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in the demonstration of the Spirit of the power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of Yah. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of Yah in a mystery, and even the hidden wisdom which Yah ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. They wouldn't have done it. Set the whole thing in motion. They didn't know who he was. They didn't know who he was. All they know was that he came on the scene causing uproar and ruckus. They didn't know who he was. As it is written, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither have it entered into the heart of man the things which Yah has prepared for them that love him. They didn't know who he was.
Wow.
Because had they known, they would have never did it. Yah made him the God of evil. He said he wanted to be a God. He made him one. Well, you see all this stuff, you can't get upset. I mean, you try not to, because I think we'd be stunned more than anything. Like, how could they let that happen? You got to understand, always understand there's two opposing sides. You got the God of good, and you got the G of evil, the little God of evil.
Mm-hmm.
He got his people, and the Most High has his people. You got vessels of honor, and you got vessels of dishonor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in everything we do. Any questions at all whatsoever. Anything, any feedback, any questions, anything. Because this thing is deep right here. This is a whole lot deeper than anything you could even begin to imagine. Because guess what? Guess when the lamb was slain? Somebody tell me, when was the lamb initially slain?
Before the foundation of the world.
Before the foundation of the world. Mm-hmm. This thing was set up before the foundation of the world. Now you understand why the 1/3 went through what they went through. Now you understand why the tail slung 1/3 of the stars out of heaven. Now you understand the whole process of redemption. Why everything is sex-driven. It's sex, 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 sex. That's how it started.
It sure did.
Started with sex. And then you had the 300 angels come down, and they decide they're going to get in on the mission. And guess what they do? They decide to make a pact, and they start having sex. Everything is sex-driven on the side of evil. Seduction and sex-driven.
And that kind of takes me back to when God destroyed the earth with water at that time. They must have been doing some hideous stuff. So like some real, stuff probably like out of this world. In order for the Most High just to kill all but 8.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. The crucial. This is just serious business. This is how serious this thing is. It's some serious stuff. He wanted to be God. He said it out of his own mouth. I want to be God. I'm going to be like the Most High. And at that moment when I was sitting in that parking lot, the Most High told me, I gave him his wish. He wanted to be God, so I let him be God. So I'm like, wow. Wow.
So, Sister Yaina, what did he stand to gain, talking about Satan, if he had succeeded? And we know it would have never happened. But what was he hoping to gain if he had succeeded in having Yehudah worship him?
He would have always been. He would have been the ruler. This would have never stopped.
Okay, all right. So he was trying to stop the new kingdom from coming, which we know will come?
When you talk about Yahushua, what he was trying to do, he was trying to stop the whole ministry thing, because at that point he was healing people from the sickness. He was raising people from the dead. And what happens when good comes on the scene? What does evil try to do to good? Put a stop to it. He wanted him on that. Let me take it back. He did him just like he did Adam and Eve. Because his procedure never changes. It never changes. Just like he slid up to Eve and said, what did he tell you? And here she go. Well, he said, he said, you won't surely die. He did Yahweh the same way. But he got him at a point where he was at his weakness because he hadn't had nothing to eat. He was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And he took him, he said, look here, this is what I do for you. I give you all this. This is all mine to give if you just bow down and worship me. Just like you do everybody else. From the music industry to the movie stars to the church. If you be on my side, you'll have all this. You'll have people worshiping you. You'll have money. You'll have cars. You'll have clothes. You'll have it all.
I actually see something else, too. he basically is doing the same thing, that presenting him with the same dilemma that Esau had, because Esau, for hunger, he sold his birthright. And if the Messiah had said, you know what, I will go ahead and at least take you up on this offer, all of the power that he had, all of the angels that he commanded would have been under the rulership of Lucifer. He would have sold his birthright for essentially a mess of pottage, a very temporary fix, a permanent fix, a very temporary solution. And so I see it as being very similar.
Absolutely, because he don't never change. He's the same way always. Yesterday, he's the same way all the time. That's what he gave. He was going to take the power back. Because Yahushua left with all power in his hands. He didn't want that power. He didn't want to lose that power. When he rose with all power in his hands.
And I was just thinking that with that power came redemption, and redemption, the definition of redemption means to purchase back, to get it back what was his to begin with. So because we were his to begin with, and by him coming and paying the royal price, we got that redemption, which was to gain back to the Father, to get us back home, to get us back the kingdom that we had to begin with.
Absolutely. 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 If he could have stopped that, he could have stopped. Thank goodness he had enough power in him to say, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy Elohim. Turn these stones into bread. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yah. Well, throw thyself over the ledge and let his angels, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy Elohim. All right, then, if you ain't going to do all that, well, guess what, then? Let me show you all this beautiful kingdom and money and different and stuff and different this and different that and different this and different that. And he said, man shall only worship the Most High, and him only is he to serve. You're always offering stuff. It's always about stuff. And he didn't take the bait. But that's only because they didn't know who he was. He thought he was just standing in front of an ordinary man. Somebody with a little power. Because Elijah was here. Elijah had power. Powerful stuff. Yes, indeed. Powerful stuff. And it's still going on today. I had a man offer me something years ago. He said, I will give you anything you want. He said, and I do mean anything. Now, I ran. I'm like, no, And he could have. He really could have. I said, no. Now and that's because I was at the point where I was becoming conscious. And I'm like, no. No. But the enemy always, it's always stuff. It's always this. Give me this. I'll show you this. I'll hand you this. If you do this, I'll give you this. Why? Because he has the power to give it. He can still give it. He gives it to you. Power. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I said, no. Now, there was a time in my life I might have thought about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Because he had the power to do it. But I didn't do it. I said, I can't do that. No. And see, when you're not already dancing with the devil, you ain't going back for round 2. It's like, no, thank you, y'all. Now that I look back on it, like, no, no.
Hallelujah.
For real. You know, and some people would have been flattered, but it wasn't flattering. It was more scary than anything because they could have did it. Back in my younger years, you know how that go. But, you know, it's like, no. So that's how he operates. He does it the same way. Same way he did Eve. What did he say for real? He knows that the moment you do that, you're going to be like him. He don't want you to be like him.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Satan also tried to get him to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And for him to break his bones and everything. And do you think that would have had something to do with him not being like a good sacrifice? Because sacrifices not supposed to have broken bones and all that kind of stuff. Or was he just trying to find out if he really was the Messiah so that he can try to kill him?
Well, no, he knew that he had power. But he said, well, what if you be the, because they knew the Son of Yah was coming. They knew he was coming. But they didn't know to the extent of how much power he was going to actually have. But he told them, if you really are the Son of God, throw yourself over the ledge. Angels will get you.
But that's why I was wondering, did he really know who he was? Because he said, if thou be.
He didn't know who he was. I mean, he didn't know all of it.
Oh, okay.
But he had power because he was doing too much not to. He was giving sight to the blind. He was growing limbs out. I mean, normal people just don't do that. Raising Lazarus from the dead. Normal people don't have those powers. They knew he was a superhero. They just didn't know to the degree how much he was. Like we read, some of the Pharisees believed in him, but they kept it a secret because they didn't want to get put out the church. But he held his ground. And he did that as an example for us. So when the temptation comes to you, you can do the same thing. Nah, I'm cool. Nope. Even if you don't know where it is, you can say, for it is written. Man shall not live by bread alone. That's how you overcome. Because it all starts with desire. It's real talk. Let me end this session so we can let the other people talk, because I know we got mad people out there in our audience right now wanting to get in because they called in late. But ladies and gentlemen that are listening under the sound of our voice, I hope that you have enjoyed the lesson. We're going to conclude the recording part of this session. Don't forget that we will have this up on the internet this evening. Also, we are having our Blog Talk Radio show tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we look forward to you all joining us. And thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Shalom.